So, welcome to No Shame. So, all of us still locked down here. I don't know about you, but it's getting a little bit funny now. I think in the first few weeks, it's a little bit of a, was it a novelty, I think, for everybody, even the kids getting off school. People still coming together really, really strongly, which is nice to see. I'm in the studio on my own here. We have Shedded Robin. But let me tell you one thing: if there's a man that needs a round of applause, it's Robin. I'm at the setting up this stuff here. I am right. The mics, the wires, the screens, yeah, all that stuff. I got a few guests coming on today. Have Big Daddy Kiefer, so Kiefer Crosbie coming on. Shed a bit of light, bit of happiness. The man is, he just radiates that energy, doesn't he? And then I have Lar Brennan, and I'll tell you the story in between why Lar Brennan is on. But Lar Brennan had a double lung transplant before, but a story that he was telling about Eminem has led to this. So I'll lead you to it anyway. But what I'm gonna do now is gonna get Kiefer on the phone, and so we'll have a buzz off him. What?
Yo.
Kiefer Crosbie, what's the story with you?
Cheers, bro.
Happy birthday as well, what?
Yes.
What age, 18?
18, mate. I turned 18 today. 18. I'm not only messing. I turned 30 today. Could you believe that? 30 fucking years of age. Mad. I'm not ready. Not ready.
Welcome to the club. It hits us all.
I'm not ready, Paddy. I'm not ready.
30's young, mate. I'm telling you. Listen, when you be looking back, you're going to be saying to yourself, you know what? 30 was probably the best year for me. And I remember you coming in, you couldn't even grow a beard. Only a little bump.
Says the man that took about 2 hours to get Skype ready. You are
listen,
struggling. Technology isn't a thing anymore.
beyond, I am. I don't belong, you know what I mean, in technology. I belong in the woods with a fishing rod, Kiefer. How are you finding this? Because you're somebody with loads of energy.
Yeah, you know what, mate? It's mad. Yeah, the past few weeks it's been a test. Yeah, it's been a mad test, and I don't know. Like it's just you have to just stay positive. I don't know. It's hard to stay positive though. You know, you're having your days where you're up and you're down, but at the same time, like I'm appreciating things that I would have forgot to appreciate. You know what I mean? Like I'm sitting at home and I haven't got the right to complain about fucking sitting indoors. You know what I mean? I'm sitting indoors, and that in itself is like. That's a statement in itself. I put up a picture the other day on Instagram of like down near where I live, down at the fruit markets. There was a tent, and I walked by that like 2 weeks ago, and I seen it, and I was just like, I haven't got the fucking right to get upset about having a roof over my head and having to sit in my house. You know what I mean? There's people literally living out there in fucking tents and sleeping bags, and there's other people complaining about I have to stay in my house with Netflix all day and bored. It's like, mate, there's perspective here to learn. And when I seen that, and I just had to take a step back and be like, you know what? I could be so much worse off. Yeah, it's a pain in the hole. I'm a bit bored. But if boredom's, number one on your list of priorities, then count yourself fucking lucky. Do you know what I mean? So I'll take boredom all day, but it is what it is. And I just hope everyone's abiding by the rules and fucking staying at home, being safe, you know what I mean? And so we can go get back to normal soon and get the fucking world back to normal. That's what I'm looking forward to, normality.
Yeah, if that's even what it was normal, because do you know the mad thing is, even what you were saying there is like seeing tents and stuff like that. Isn't it mad that was becoming normal in Dublin City at that time, like in a way, and now it's kind of like it's not the news that's there anymore. You know what I mean? But the losing your sound there, are we?
No, I'm still there.
Yeah, it's at the kind of losing the. I won't say it's placing the news or something like that, but look, I'm still reading of so many situations where people are like they're doing this the hard way, you know what I mean? So it is a situation of like staying. What I was saying to people was, "Come in the gaff."
You don't understand why people aren't. I know people are bored, and I know like other people are ignorant. People are thinking, this won't affect me, or I think ignorance is a big thing here as well. It's like it's if you don't respect what you don't see. And you can't see a virus, you know what I mean? You can't see. It's not like a broken leg where it's broken. It's like no, this is affecting like hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people now worldwide, and it could have the potential to affect us all in Ireland. You know what I mean? If we fucking keep going out to social gatherings, keep going to if everyone just goes by the rules for a few months and we pull together, we can actually get through this. And in fairness, I think Ireland is actually doing a good job. I think we're doing a good enough job, like compared to like the likes of England and America and stuff, where
Stop, man.
you see every day on the television, it's crazy numbers they're pulling in. I know they're a bigger population, but I think if everyone just knuckles down now and fucking follows the rules here, we'd be all back to normal. But I tell you one thing, mate, I was never a fan of normal, but normal seems appealing these days. Holy Jake.
I thought when you were saying there about when I heard Boris Johnson saying that they were using the herd herd immunity, I thought that was like a Waterford whisper when I first seen it. Like,
Shit. I've seen that myself, and I thought that was bizarre. That's like a human experiment of death. You know what I mean? You're playing with people's like health and lives here. Like that's a mad thing to do, and they're only doing that because of business. You know what I mean? It's like they're putting money before health, and I think that's a crazy thing to do. Again, I get it. You know what I mean? Money is important, but at the same time, if you're not alive, you can't spend that money. So. I mean, there's people, you know what I'm saying? There's people on respirator machines dying every single minute of the day now, and I just think it's bizarre to put your finances before that. You know what I mean? But I mean, these are people that are staying indoors as well. You know what I mean? Don't be fooled by them fucking idiots. You know what I mean? They're avoiding the rules, but they want us all to go back out and work. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, but like, lots of people have been stuck in many different situations in this, like, and that's why like the stay at home is the way. Like when we've been looking around, even like. I seen this coming early, man. I'm telling you. Like I closed the club the day or before they closed the schools. You know, I swear. Joey Breslin was the one who said it to me, and he knows his numbers. And he was looking at it coming. I've already explained this on the podcast, but like you could see it coming as a wave. Now I know that we have done good as a nation in how we've reacted to this, but we still have a lot of numbers to come. There's a lot of numbers coming down the road. I feel some of the reaction that has happened, say with the privatisation of the hospital, I can't even say the word hospitals, but that's stuff that's been called for a long time, and I think something has been shown is that with a flick of a pen, we can change a lot of this. Here's a conversation I was having with a homeless lad the other day. He was at the shop and I gave him a few euro, and I always see him, he's kind of the same a homeless lad, he goes in and out of hostels, and I said, what's the story with the hostels now? What's happening with them? And he's like, no, it's great. And I was like, I was a bit shocked, to be honest, you know what I mean? He's like, yeah, look, there's rooms there for us and all. Like, you don't have to rush in and get the rooms and all. And I was a little bit shocked that, like, it takes to, like, a pandemic for the hospitals to be empty and the corridors, the trolleys not to have the trolley crisis. And I think the profit before people's health and stuff like that has been as being before this, but this is definitely woken up everybody. On the part of seeing that people that should be paying attention to this are starting to pay attention to what is actually going on the ground, because we've been banging it out here for a while now, you know what I mean? But there's some serious shit going down, isn't there?
Yeah, it's scary, like it's mad, but like I mean, I think for the most part as well, as us as people, I think we're just all really, like, I don't know, for me for one, anyways, I'm really like thinking a lot now in the past few weeks and thinking like, what the fuck is important? And what's like, I put up a thing the other day, like, I mean, everyone, like, your nice car is sitting outside your gaff now, do you know what I mean, on four wheels, your designer clothes are hung up in that wardrobe, your Rolexes, your watches and shit are there. No one gives a bollocks anymore about that, yeah? That doesn't, now is that you see what's important now. I'm waking up every morning, I'm breathing, I'm okay. I can I can get milk out of my fridge, I can talk to my daughter. I'm not fucking, you know what I mean? There's things like that people are forgetting about, and again, a roof over your head, a bed to sleep in at night, a nice meal. Like, there are things that, like, again, that day-to-day things we float through the day doing every day. And when something like this happens, it's like a fucking stop sign. And you go, oh, fuck, this is, I can't go outside, I can't go to the shop now, I can't go to the gym, I'm not allowed to go into fucking get a coffee. And when you stop doing that shit, you know, it just hits you and you're like, oh, shit, like, I forgot how vulnerable I was and how I'm not really in charge, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to live here. And in fairness, I'm waking up and I'm grateful I'm not sick, and I'm grateful none of my family members are sick. And these are bigger things than me missing the gym. Like, I'm missing the gym, don't get me wrong, I'm missing the gym terrible, you know. I've been training like non-stop for years now, and you know yourself, when you stop rolling and stuff, it's like withdrawal symptoms I'm getting. I'm like, fucking just want to go and grapple, or, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it could be worse, and I think people have to... Huh?
How's your man?
My ma's great, yeah. She's mad, you know what I mean? She was working herself, but like, my ma's a worker. She always has to do something. She can't sit still, do you know what I mean? Like me, I can't sit down. I'm not a couch potato, do you know what I mean? I built a couch potato, but I'm not a couch potato anymore.
Love a potato on the couch.
But yeah, she just wants to always do something. But I think obviously me talking to her and stuff and telling her to look, just take time off, chill out, put the feet up for once in your life. You know what I mean? And do different activities. You know what I mean? Read some fucking books, go on little walks, go do different things, exercise. And she is doing that. And I think our head is a bit better now. You know, so but that again, that's everyone. We're all. I say it to her every day. We're all in the same boat. This is the world. This isn't just like Tala is sitting indoors now. No, it's like everywhere in the world now is trying to sit indoors. It's hard.
Do you know
But
what's
it's
kind of mad is right? Because like it takes it to like my thinking goes beyond, has no borders. Then you know what I be thinking, like say like the situations in Palestine and all this, like or the situations inside like Syria and all like or like even when you were a kid, it would have been like a Somalia for like you would have seen on Trogra boxes and stuff. We would have even thought about that stuff now. Like you can imagine people that are like looking at us now in a way saying, "Yes, I'm not so tough now." Not in a bad way, but like.
100%. I mean, it's crazy. Like, I mean, we were watching the news the other night. I'm not a big fan of the news. I never really watch the news ever. You know, this is like the
Why don't
first
these
time.
believe the clock on the news, Kiefer?
Man, I'm telling you, I'd never do. It's me first time. I'm 30 years young today, Paddy. Yeah, and the
You
past 2 I've been watching the news. Yeah, for just cause, you know, you're keeping up with the fucking news, whatever. And this clip came on of this woman in Africa, and they were living in huts. And my daughter, my 9-year-old daughter, was watching it with me, and she held up a bag of beans. And she's like, this is to feed 6 children. I don't know if you've seen that. And she's like, this is all I've having for the past few days. And I looked at it, and then my daughter was like, this is going on right now? And I was like, this is happening today.
Damn.
Somewhere.
Yes.
Somewhere. You know what I mean? So, like, I haven't got the right to be like, fucking wish I could go up to fucking get an omelette in, you know, my local restaurant or do something, you know. I'm bored, but at the same time, mate, it could be way worse. And I just wish people...
It's forced their priorities, hasn't it? It's forced us to view the priorities, even the people in our lives and like the people that you really miss, like emotionally, you know, like when you're not around that person, like there's some people, I'm at the realising there's some people who can go with them. Do you know what I mean?
100%, mate. I think it's you value more like who's more important and what's more important. Like even me, man, I miss the gym, right? And I miss training, and I now know it's like reinforced. Fuck, this is what I really want to do in my life. You know what I mean? It's like I'm so glad I have this. Like I'm looking forward to going back and working me bollocks off to be able to fight again. Like I'm looking forward to that feeling of a big crowd, happy in an arena where I can actually perform and do what I love to do and win and go back and provide like for my family and bring me Mario for a meal. These are mad important things that you have to do. You know what I mean? All that other shit is just stupid. You get sidetracked, spend the money on stupid shit, trying to look, do, you know, whatever. You know what I mean? It's grand and all, but you get caught up in it. And then when you get something like this, it's like, oh, it's a big wake up call to actually what is important. You know what I mean? So I just can't wait to get back to normal, get back to the gym, you know, go out and train, just do normal stuff again. And I think again, this is a big wake up call for the world now, isn't it? So I don't know.
Think about what's valuable now. Like think about what's doubled and trebled in prices. You know what I mean? Like it's mad, isn't it? What becomes valuable in a time like it's like you never see that scene on the Titanic where your man's coming up with his money and he's like, "Your money's no good here, mate."
Oh, mate. Exactly. Do you know what I mean? It's mad. Like, I mean, it was Mother's Day last week. I couldn't give me ma a hug. You know what I mean? It's my birthday today. I can't. You know, it's shit like that, and you're like, holy shit. This is more important than any of this. Like I had Amsterdam. I'm supposed to be in Amsterdam actually. Like,
so boy.
No way.
Hey, Adam Staggs, we were supposed to leave yesterday.
Oh well, I had it booked for the 1st of April. I wasn't actually booked. We were going the 1st to the 4th, and then I was actually supposed to go to LA with my girlfriend and the kids. Then, if we could, for a few weeks, I was going to train over there. But then again, all that got stopped, and I was like, oh, fuck, this big step back now. I can't do any of it. Do you know what I mean? That's done. And now I'm in my house, but at the same time, look, it could be way worse. And that picture I shared the other day, I keep going back to because it's so close to home. That's literally like on my doorstep of where I live. That's not like, you know, that's like at the fruit markets of near Greek Street Flats in Dublin 7. That's where I live. And I actually seen the bloke in the tent a few times around. And I just thought to myself, he actually lives with his girlfriend. I remember thinking, like, that's mad. Like, oh, yeah, we haven't got the right to be moaning. You know what I mean? If you're on Netflix okay, and just, you know, take a step back and be happy, be grateful. Gratitude should be practiced now, yeah?
That saying that we have that the world is a small place, that didn't age well, did it?
Big time, I know, man. I think it's a big shock of humanity right now, yeah? Like, I mean, I'm feeling for everybody.
Now, like, think how far that actually is now. Like, where a day before you would have been able to go to Egypt or Australia if you wanted. Now it's like, You're talking a camel ride.
I was only today. We were going through. I got a photo album, for my birthday, and it was like in Italy. I was in Italy 5 times, and it was all the pictures of Italy, me, and my daughter, and my girlfriend, and stuff like that. And we were going through all the photos and just looking at like Venice and Rome, and we were in like Florence, and we were going through all the photos. Just it makes you think like, fuck, they're going through a horrific time now. And I was only there in last October for like a few weeks, and I was like, from then till now, the difference of Italy. You know what I mean? And I love Italy. It's a great place. I have friends over there. Love it. I love it. I love it. I actually love the culture, the food, the fucking everything. You know what I mean? But so sad what's going on right now. And it's like, it just makes you think like, fuck, tomorrow could be so different than today. And I don't know. I think after this pandemic, I think everyone's going to live their life a lot different. And I hope so. I hope everyone gets it's like the biggest kick up the hole you could get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, come on, cop on. Wake up and live your fucking life to the fullest now, and like, let's go and be happy you wake up every day healthy, you know what I mean? And just go out and do what you want to do. Because I'm telling you, man, in a blink, it could be over. You know what I mean? That's the buzz I'm on these days. Maybe it's just the wine talking, Paddy. I don't know.
Get that into you, son. Leave you real quick on the flats. So the flats have been shining on social media. Have you seen that?
Man, I have. You know, I was in my ma's. I drove down to my ma's on Paddy's Day, before I got a bit crazy, and I was sitting in my ma's, and we could hear it was bingo was going on. You could hear like 42, like the flat in Greek Street flats were doing bingo. Do you know what I mean? Like someone was in the middle. And I love seeing shit like that. Proper community spirit. You know what I mean? Like proper, like everyone coming together, and I love seeing stuff like that because it just again reinforces we are all one, and we can actually pull together. And again, when have you ever seen that? Never went out and positive. It took something really bad, you know what I mean, to make this happen. So, I mean, I know Italy, like they're known for like families living at home together, like the grannies and the granddads. They all live in the same house. So that's the spirit they have. You know what I mean? They all live together, and it didn't get lost in Ireland. But years ago, even when we were growing up, you would have had a lot of like your nanny and granddad would have lived with you, and your fucking, you know what I mean, your man, dad, and cousins would be over in the house a lot, and it's a real family knitted place together. And hopefully we pull through this, you know what I mean, and we all just stay on the fucking rules and fight this thing tooth and nail and just come out the better of it, you know what I mean? So hopefully.
Quick message before you bounce there, and I won't harass you on your birthday anymore. I'll let you get your wine in there.
Plenty in me already, Paddy. You know me.
Yeah, you're a legend, mate. All right, look after yourself there, Kiefer. Cheers for the call, all right, brother. Look after yourself. Kiefer Crosbie, absolute gem of a lad, I have to say. I remember when he first came in, he was so motivated about making it. It came across as probably a little bit cocky, but then his work ethic after a few weeks just showed people that like he's definitely going to go places. It's great to see him doing what he's doing, and he's a good inner city lad as well. And the next lad I have on, as I was saying, is Lar Brennan. So we've had Lar Brennan on before, the poster coach. Lar Brennan's story is amazing. He's a double lung transplant. He probably knows a lot about the respiratory system. I remember him telling me about breathing where his lung capacity was down. I'm not telling that he hasn't told before on the podcast. I'm going to give Lar a ring. The reason why I'm going to get Lar on is because Lar has been tested for COVID because he's a high risk. He also owns a business, which is something I want to talk about as well. So a lot of small businesses in this situation are now nearly a month into it. So the light on that fuse is about to start going for a few small businesses. And I don't think people really understand that a lot of people are going to be in dire straits regarding their businesses. Which is unfortunate. But let me get Lar Brennan on. Where are you? Have we got you? No, I can't see you yet. Where's your lovely face? Boom.
Happy days.
Oh, what's the story? So I've only had to be insane before I came on the mic here, right? How that little story of me talking about Eminem triggered your story of Eminem. I was introducing who you were, told about your last podcast for people to check it out and stuff like that. So I was pouring all your business out, mate. So, but they already know it.
Good stuff. They already know. Yeah, I have the picture there actually. Look. Here's one I made earlier.
Ah, how class is that? So this is a signed picture of Eminem is what you has here. So the story is Lars being you're a transplant survivor. You're a veteran. You tell me the story, especially in the times that are upon us. You know a lot about the respiratory system, is what I was saying.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I suppose some of them have probably seen the podcast. Yeah, the double lung transplant just over 6 years ago. And are you going with that story? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's so. How I couldn't believe how it led you to Eminem. And I was the other day, I was like,
yeah, it was a bit mad, wasn't it? Led us on to a load of different stories.
I say everyone else is saying, tell us, shut up and tell us.
Yeah, there was a load of us, a few good mates with cystic fibrosis, and we were all in Vincent's at the time. But one of them, a good mate of mine, David Smith was his name. He got really sick, but he was a massive Eminem fan, like, you know. Now, he had D12 tattooed on him and all this. Secretly, he loved Westlife as well, so we won't talk too much. But, yeah, he was a massive Eminem fan. And one of the doctors we know actually set up a thing when Smithy started getting really, really ill, like, you know, he was taken off the transplant list because he couldn't be done because his kidneys were too bad and stuff like that. But, and Smithy was the type of person, he'd get away with murder with the nurses. This chap, he was hilarious as well. When you say the life and soul of the party, it was definitely Smithy. But so the doctor organised anyway for him to, he has his own kind of, he knew somebody in the music industry or something that knew Eminem's manager. So he was supposed to arrive over and he said he'd go and visit Smithy in Vincent's. But unfortunately, David passed away the day before he got here. So he did. I think it's on YouTube anyway. One of the videos is he did a tribute to him in Punchestown, and David's mom, I tell you, Bernie, lovely family, the Smiths, was they could hear when they opened the window. David was being waked out in his house, in Nace, and they could hear the concert and all the Eminem in Punchestown. So he did that tribute, but he had heard and had touched him so much, Eminem, that he had heard there was a few of us still in hospital and stuff like that, and with the condition, like. So I was sitting in my room one day, and the nurse came in and said, "Here, there's a camera crew outside. They're coming into you. Is that all right?" And
sorry, was he supposed to meet Smitty? Was Eminem supposed to?
Yeah, he was supposed to meet him. When he as soon as he got to Dublin, he was going to Vincent's to meet him. Was the plan to meet him in hospital? But David unfortunately passed away.
Oh, so I missed that bit. We missed that bit.
Yeah, so Smitty passed away the day before, I think it was, and so he went ahead and did the tribute to him anyway, you know, in Punchestown. So, but after that, then he sent Eminem sent a film crew to Vincent's Hospital, and what they did was he wanted to see the family's reaction to the video and all this sort of stuff, and so he had all the family, all David's family went into a room in the hospital where they were showing the video, and they met members of staff that used to look after David, like, you know, and ourselves from the CF team. And then they went around and they met a couple of us, myself, Nathan Swan, who sadly passed away now, and Jennifer Tormey, another girl who sadly passed away as well. We were the only ones that got these pictures sent over. So, like, Eminem himself, like, sent a camera crew over, caught me on the hop, like, should I start tearing up and all? I was standing there, I was like, oh, jeez, this is great. How do I thank him? Like, can I send him a letter to thank him? And the one with her American accent turned around and goes, you can thank him right here. You sent us over, like, to film this, like, so. Jesus, what do I say? I didn't know what to say.
And you were in hospital at this time when this is happening?
Yeah, I was in at the time as well, yeah.
So, you know what,
before I got really bad.
When you were telling me this, I was because I was like, you know what, this is a story that has to be shared, because I was I missed that bit at the start about supposed to be at the concert. I was actually at that concert myself in Punchestown, so which is a mad circle of it when you step back. And Eminem as well was somebody that I'd always wanted to meet in my life, and I was always a little bit afraid that if I ever did, you know, when you come across somebody that you'd be like, I just he's not going to be here. You think when you start telling me this story the other day, it put a smile on my face, because I was like, you know what, that sounds like somebody that we would kind of, I don't know, picture through that music, you know. But you say, sorry for interrupting you, but
yeah, you'd be afraid. And then was it only last week you did a podcast with Tyson? Then was that after or before that?
That's how I think we got talking about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
That's how it happened. That is
and he
how
comes
it
across real shy and all. But I would have been like Smitty'd be going along the car with you, like, and he'd have Eminem blaring and tattoos out the window and all, Superman tattoo and all he had on him. But I would have been a bit of a fan, but when all that happened, I just adored him after that. I was just like, lads, you couldn't, you know what I mean? But like I said to yourself as well, like you're real, no. But I was like that the first time I met you when I went into the gym, shitting myself going in with my little brother Tom, like, and you were just there talking to. The time you gave us, I was just like, holy shit, like, it made us feel on top of the world. So I was mad. I'm there texting everyone, just out with Paddy. It's amazing the responsibility like that, like somebody like that or like yourself has. Like, you don't even realize yourself the ability you have to kind of,
only until you fall down. Only until you say something stupid or something.
That was like, remember I said as well, like when I met David Beckham, he was the same. I met David Beckham one time. I was and I'd love it if this doctor is watching this podcast. I'd love to meet her. I was in Tala Hospital. I was supposed to be getting out, and the next day, called me bloods were off and stuff like this. Doctor came in and said, "Look, you won't be going. You just stay another 2 weeks for more IVs, like, you know." So I was a bit upset. She said, "What would you be doing anyway? Like at home, like, you know?" I said, "Well, a big United fan, David Beckham was in Easton's the next day. I wanted to meet him."
What an answer.
Yeah.
What else would you be doing? I'll be meeting David Beckham. All right, maybe that's a
No, but she says, Asher, look, you'll probably meet him again. And without me knowing, she rang my man and dad and told them to bring in a United jersey for me. The next morning, she came in to me, put that jersey on you. What do you mean, put it on you? We're going into town, and she brought myself and another girl, Anita Slowy, with CF as well, who's sadly passed as well. But she brought us in for food. I think it was Eddie Rockets in O'Connell Street. That's where it was first. And then we met Beckham, and he sat there for about 25 minutes talking to us. People trying to rush him and all, and he was like, no, I'll take me time here now. Like, and that was when he was in his peak, like, as well. So it's amazing, like. But I know where you're coming from. You need to be afraid to meet certain people, like, you know, that kind of way.
Just in case it's like, you know, that you should never meet your hero situation. Yeah, because you'd be like sick, you would.
Yeah.
So where are you at now? Because obviously you fall into the vulnerable category. When I say, well, I don't even want to use the word vulnerable, but high risk, is it?
Yeah, high risk, and the cocoon and sort of statement had been made, like, you know, so at the minute, you're supposed to cocoon and supposed to stay away from everybody, like, you know, like that too. I had closed the gym up very early, like yourself, very early days, because it was probably a bit more aware of the situation, not just for my own sake, but I have a good lad working in there for me, and I didn't want a situation where I was sitting at home letting him do the work and him putting his family at risk as well. So I just shut up shop early as well. But in terms of, like, I'm going through phases. I don't know if it's the same with yourself. I'm going through phases of the amount of stuff you read and all. You're like kind of going, is it a little bit of a conspiracy or is it really serious? And I'm not saying how serious it is. And I'm going through phases, but like I'd notice even my sleep has been affected, even like the stress of it. Not directly worried, like kind of, oh Jesus, stressing every few minutes, but I noticed, I was only saying it to my nest there the other night, noticing I'm not sleeping lately because that fear is inside you of if you caught something, you know, I want to be a daddy soon. So I'm like kind of, I'm even more now. A few years ago, I would have gone, don't give me shit. I would have gone for it, like, but
that's when you lose your fearlessness.
Yeah, I'm a bit more weary now of things and kind of going, oh Jesus, and like I was only talking to one of the nurses, one of our transplant nurses. She's very, very good now, Susie. I think she's from Tala area actually, but she's very good and she understands the CF end of things when transplant more so. And she rang me the other day and how are you getting on and stuff like that. And they're doing like a phone clinic rather than you going in, but there's still going to come a time when I have to get bloods done because I have to get levels done for Prograf, like anti-rejection drugs. So it's frightening, like, and of course with the anti-rejection drugs that you're on, your immune system is completely shot. So I've heard two different stories. I've heard one from a doctor to say, because your immune system is low, that might be a good thing for you because when you get coronavirus, your immune system goes haywire. and that's what causes a lot of the symptoms.
Oh, right. Actually, I've heard they mute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was kind of saying to myself, yeah, I'll stick to that story in my head. That sounds good, but I'm still not going to be going out to Tesco's anytime soon, right? You know.
Should catch something else.
This is it, and then I actually got tested myself. I had to get tested, so I was waiting. I had a banging headache one day, and I had a temperature here, but that happens sometimes as well, you know. And so of course we got a bit worried here, and it was a Sunday evening. I texted GP that I know, and he says, "Oh no, that's with you. That you're high risk. We have to be careful here." Blah blah blah. So I was really high risk, and it took 8 days for them to test me. This was 3 weeks ago. 8 days it took them, and thankfully now it took, what was it? And for anyone that doesn't know, I suppose, if anyone's wondering what kind of test it is, it's not that invasive. If someone needs to go for it, and not to be scared, like, you know, you drive up in the car and they come out, put a mask on you and stuff like that, and you drive into a next section then, and they get you to swab the back of your throat and then the back of the sinuses as well. Now I kind of did it myself because they don't let you do it. I was kind of, here, I don't want you coming near me. Like,
don't touch me.
And she was like, no, we have to do it. I was like, no, I've done this plenty of times. Give us it. So in fairness to her, she was sound enough. She let me do it. But it came back only today. So that took nearly 13 days to get a result. I got a text message today to say that it was negative. Like it was.
And you were waiting 8 days for the test and 14 days for the results?
Yeah. Yeah, so, you could be dead and buried, like, by the time.
Just that's definitely going to affect the numbers coming in the next little while, isn't it?
Oh man, it's scary, like, you know. Again, I'll just be out there, and I'm a fucker for saying things as it is. Anyway, that's my biggest problem. But like I've been talking to nurses that'd be friends of mine, because again they'd like almost become family, nurses and doctors that I would have been looked after for years by great people, but that too. They're all been told that they're not allowed to talk to the media or anything like that. Doctors have been told not to speak to the media about anything. The same with the nurses. They've all been briefed, no media conversation. So the things that I have heard, I won't say who from, is that the numbers are a lot higher. Without trying to scare anyone, the numbers are a lot higher than what's been put out in the media. Like, it's laughable what's on the media, to be fair.
I think at the moment now I think everything just needs to be thrown out the window regarding I don't know who doesn't like who or all of these type of things, and we just get together and fix this for like everybody together, because I think all the resources together it works better, you know.
Yeah.
I think a lot of what they've made the moves on, they put out in fairness to the government, they put a link together where if you're a company and you feel like that you can reproduce some of the products that will be needed, the face masks and the shields and stuff like that you can apply straight away through that link. So I only found out about that a few days ago, and I was like, you know what, that's a really good idea. Another thing I'll give a tip to the hats to is we only found out a few minutes before the podcast that Leo is said that he's going to do a shift and he's going to be on the front line with it. What do you think of that?
Is he? Yeah.
That's what I've heard. That's what they.
Well, look, if he does that, hands up to him. If he does that, fair play to him. Now I had a few rants, let's say, on Facebook and all that lately, and I got a phone call to say that your gym could be affected by you talking about Leo, like the way you wear and all the rest of it. But I said, like, that's any of my clients know that I will say what's on my mind at that moment in time. That's the way I am. Like, and I was angry that maybe the shutdown wasn't, you know, some things were kind of left on the long finger, and all these interviews, like, how much does that cost? Like, you know, like, and what really pissed me off was, and I'm not trying to lick Connor's arse or anything, but Connor went down and spent, was it $1 million he donated towards buying equipment?
Yeah. For the PPE.
He's still getting slated by people on Facebook and all, like, because he came out in the dress. Facebook. But that's what I'm saying. Like, there was a few like, that's the way I would argue with people. I'm better off coming off Facebook.
Yeah, better off, what I'm telling you.
Oh man, I was saying, because I posted, I was like, he's done more than most of our government have at the time. Like, that's what I was saying at the time. But look,
here's something we've noticed about social media the last little while, right? Is that a lot of people have time on their hands, and they're a little bit edgy and angry now. Everyone's a little bit in the house tweaking out, you know what I mean? So I'm going to give people the benefit of the doubt from that. But yeah, we've got messages of people saying, you shouldn't have said that. Why are you posting this? Don't do that. And my message is being back is mind your own business. I didn't wake up where I am in life, you know what I mean? I didn't wake up here, you know? And I'm definitely not going to be taking advices off leading people with Pikachu profiles. You know what I'm saying in a way? But another thing I've seen as well that's mad. Now I'm not condemning it, not saying it's right or it's wrong, but people posting up onto groups saying, I see me neighbour. They went 4 and 5 meters away from the house. I seen them there. They were kissing in the garden or something. Who do we ring to report them?
True colours start showing out now, man.
Do you ever read the
I can understand though. I can understand, like, you know, the first week, like especially down here, like there was Cortown and all them places were just, I mean, jammers. Like it was it was ridiculous at that point. Like where you'd see crowds and crowds of people. Like I was a bit pissed off over that. I got sent a few videos. I was thinking, lads, because these are people. In fairness as well, these are people that don't understand kind of. They probably don't have someone that's in high risk in their family, so they don't really, like, you know what I mean. There's no kind of knowledge to it, and then I suppose as it got worse. But the question is it going to get worse here before it gets better? Like, you know.
So I was going to ask you that as a business owner as well. So for people that don't know this, so Lar had a double lung transplant and then went on to open up his own gym because he's a bit of a legend. You know what I mean? But like you're kind of, like, I'm in a similar situation. There's a lot of businesses are in a similar situation, and we're coming to the months part now. So say the first month of this, like where I don't think a lot of people know that small businesses like close their doors and they don't have any income, but there's no special like task at the being set up for us that's like right, your rent is paused or your electricity's paused or your the rates got deferred and there's 70% of the wage being covered, but if there's no income coming in into a business, there's kind of no use in having staff getting 70% and you've got to make up 30 because it kind of puts you into more debt. And then the idea of you can go and get a big loan. To me, it would be very uncomfortable advising someone to go and get a loan into a business that is not making money and we don't have any timeline on when it will be making money again. So there's another thing that I'm a little bit, as you said, anxious about because my sleep is being as well. I know a lot of businesses won't make it out of the end of this. So I think there's 3 already in the square that have had to throw in the towel. You're going to get restaurants that like obviously would have made big money in the day, but if you're making big money, it means your overheads are big. Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of situations after this. Seeing some shops getting boarded up and stuff like that in Vancouver. That's to go further again. So
it's like with myself now. It's like, as you can see, I'm not very good at technology. Like as we noticed at the start, but like there's a lot of good, like a lot of people out there are changed and adapt like yourself did, and other gyms that are good with technology and good at doing online stuff. But the gym that I have, I couldn't afford to get any loans or debts because if I get sick, so I had to basically build the gym up myself. Thankfully I've no big loans on the gym because I couldn't anyway, but I still wasn't taking a wage out of the gym. So I get to a point now where I was coming to a point where I might be able to start taking a wage because I built it up over a year and a half now, right? And now, so in fairness, the landlord I was only talking to was saying that there's no freeze in the rents. I paid for March. I closed on March the 10th or the 12th, I think it was. So that whole month is gone. I've already paid now for next month because you pay a month in advance. But the money that I had to pay with, because there was no mad funds in there, no big amount of funds, is sessions that were paid last month that are owed to the people now.
So you're already in debt and credit in a way.
Now, and the whole situation with this gym was set out that there was going to be no debts, working for a year and a half or 2 years without any debts. And like the gym means so much to people. Like I have people coming in that, you know, it means a lot in their life to be able to come in and train. Like, and 1 or 2 people are disabled and stuff, and that's my way of giving back. Can't do any of that now, but everybody's in the same situation, I suppose. Everyone's in a dark situation with it all, but like that too. Like it's like the VAT was taken off it and the rates were taken off. still nearly €1,000 you have to pay out of money that ain't there, like, you know.
So, like, and some are in, like, some of the people have been talking to, because a lot of people have rang me about this, and I've been trying to get news. And to be honest, the only people that got back to me is well, obviously Cottle King and stuff like that, Louise Dunn, but Mark Ward, the TD, got back to me, sent me information on it every turn. South Dublin County Council's been really good for it as well. We've messaged people in the chambers of commerce and stuff like that, and we've just got information back that it didn't help, you know. Now, like, and you don't want to be saying that to people, so I kind of wrote out back right, this is what I need help with. Will you please contact me when this comes up? Now, I'm going to be all right. I think I'm going to be all right in this, you know what I mean? In a way, I've built this ship heavy. I've built it to last, you know. So, but I really am worried for a lot of gyms out there, because, as you said, it's not just the idea of the economy being hit by so many businesses closing down and so many people having job losses, but it's the byproduct that these little companies have effect with in communities like your own, like my own, in a way that like mental health is going to rise, suicide rate is going to rise, all of these little, every situation has a byproduct, and I fear we're only going to see them January next year, even if that's even if we do struggle through this, you know.
Yeah, that's it. Like I know a few people now that have loans of up to 40 grand, 50 grand for gyms. I didn't do that because I couldn't do it. I started off with a couple of barbells on a gym floor, like, you know what I mean, and I built it up, didn't take a wage, you know, and that's the way. And some people didn't. They went in, got big loans, and I feel for people like that. But even the gym itself, like the fact that people can't train, mental health is massive at the moment. I would be honest enough to say to myself, I'm lucky here with the family I have, a great family, and I know you have. And I even feel it. There's some days here now, man, when I'm sitting here going, am I feeling a little bit down, or am I a little bit depressed, or what's happening here, like, you know? And I would have been somebody that spent nearly 4 years straight in a hospital room.
Isolation, yeah, proper isolation.
This is a different battle, like that none of us have, you know what I mean? Someone would say to me, actually, you used to sit in a hospital bed, you'd be grand, you're mentally able, like, you know? But it's nearly a different kind of thing, because I'm nearly like you now. I'm always on the go now to keep. Yeah. I was sitting there for long enough, so I don't want to be sitting around.
Yeah, you're like, there's enough years there. So just before I finish up with you, a lot of people you mentioned there, Lar, sounds like you've been through a bit of a war zone yourself. You know what I mean? You mentioned a lot of people's names that you didn't mention them in a presence tense. I kind of heard as we were going by there. So that mental toughness that you have, that had to apply to that as well, I'd say. The group of you is there, of people, that must have been such a close camaraderie that you've had.
Yeah, unbelievable. Like I could look back, I have a vision in my head now a few years ago, like there was 20 people, 20 CFs, used to, rightly or wrongly, we used to all sit out on the corridor kind of at night out of the rooms, and like there's only about 3 of them left. And like, but interesting enough, like, we did I am going to mention this little plug here. I'm going to give myself. We set up Ireland's first transplant soccer team there in December. So I got on to it for my Keith Daly and Eamon Noel, another Talahead he is. But I got on to them. I said, look, what do you think of this? Like, because we wanted to see, there was a World Cup. It was supposed to be on in Italy in September of all places, but obviously been cancelled. But even in I won't mention who, but there's a couple of lads in that were living for this World Cup, and they have gone, their mood has dropped big time. Like, these are lads that probably don't train often, and you have some of them that are training the whole time now. Like Eamon, for instance, there, he sent me a message the other day. I've been doing 35 push-ups. This fella wouldn't have done 2 push-ups a couple of months ago, but because of the World Cup is on, we've a group of 25 lads now. They've all had transplant between double lung, heart, liver, kidneys, all come together, and the Irish group that has come into that, it's just amazing. And like, we've got professional coaches have come on board to give their time. Like, it's just, you'd love to mention everybody. You can't, like Paul Summers as a manager coming, Paul Massey, there's Mark Barry, there's loads of people that have come on just to try and help, giving their own time up away from their own families. And that's what I wanted to mention, that because we are going to try and come up with some sort of tournament, hopefully in September, October, if all this goes well. But stuff like that, you want to see the difference when someone had like a goal setting, is what I was trying to say. If someone sets a goal, like, it's amazing how they can keep going. Like, you know what I mean? Like how, but this has affected some of the lads that were really prepped and ready for this. Like, you know, some of the guys are feeling a little bit down and out. Like, but again, we're trying to set up little things where pass it on. Like, you know, do a workout here. You do it now, and you know, stuff like that to keep everyone going. But yeah, it's mad. It's mad.
It's hard to keep the so before the whole obviously I think everyone would consider the health workers and the nurses, the doctors as heroes, and then we found out other people have found themselves in the front line that didn't even know, and like people in the shops, the truck drivers. I've mentioned them already on this. The amount of people that you really realise when the skin gets peeled back what the real backbone of a country is. Them types of people. So you have obviously realised that them health workers and stuff like that were heroes well before people were giving them rounds of applause outside at 8 o'clock.
Absolutely, yeah. And someone else, there was a few people that mentioned as well from the world of CF, cystic fibrosis, was yous are only seeing now what we see every day. Yous are afraid now of making contact with people in case you get sick. That's the way a CF person goes around all the time, or somebody with an immuno system that's depressed. Like, that's where we are all the time. We're afraid of touching door handles. We're afraid of doing this, that, and the other. But like, even what you say there, like, I'm still friends with so many nurses, so many porters, so many security guards, even cleaners that don't get any credit really either. And cleaners in hospital. Imagine going in and cleaning the place. You know, stuff like that is just it's unbelievable. Like what they're doing, unbelievable.
So hopefully this shipment that is coming in, the many other planes that are going to land with the PPE stuff lands, and they're protected up to the 100% going into them situations as well, down to the cleaners as well, because as you said, when you pass through them doors of that hospital now, after a few weeks, it's gonna be like a battle zone, you know. So everybody deserves to have the battle equipment or the armor, if you must, to be ready to fight what's on their way.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it.
Lar, you're a legend. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate you always sharing that story. And that was a cracking story. Yeah, even the second time, that was better again.
Yeah. just talk to me, meeting Eminem when he comes here as well. So,
listen,
as you were saying,
you know where I am. You better not make that happen without me happening. To meet him too. We'll have him on the podcast for sure. Lar, look after yourself. Don't hang up. Let me stop this, alright? Good man. Look after yourself.
See you again.
So that was no shame. So flying solo for the first time ever. I think I done alright. But let me tell you, if Robin wasn't here being the brains, I don't know where we'd be. Everybody just keep amping up the guidelines that's being set out. Stay inside your house, keep up the social distancing, wash your hands. And my advice would be, if you can, wear a mask. Throw it away if you know how to. Google how to throw it away and how to dispose of it. I know I'm wearing the mask. That's my choice. I think it will definitely slow it down. I've read something in Sweden or Norway. I was looking at something and they were saying that they'd done everything with the social distancing and all of the other stuff that's all the other countries, but what the main thing that they felt that affected it was the wearing of masks. So if you can, wear a mask. If you have got a company that you feel that can produce PPE stuff or equipment that could be used, if you look for the link or even send us a message and we'll send you over the link that the government has put up, that you can put an application in, and they said somebody will contact you. So hopefully these things start to come to fruition, and this is behind us before we know it. We are all in this together. Some of us less than others at the moment regarding the timeline of it, and I think that unfortunately it might be all of our doors, but the only way that we can stop it from arriving on our own door is to keep our efforts really, really strong. Keep up this social distancing, stay inside your house, and look at ways to get entertained. That was episode, I don't even know, we call it the quarantine episode of No Shame. So look after yourself.